what's the difference between branding and marketing? These two functions are seemingly overlapping. At the same time, what many small business owners, freelancers fail to grasp is, again, just as sales and marketing are two different business functions, branding and marketing are two different functions. If I were to put it down into questions or a one-line question to define what marketing is, basically marketing is how many people knows you or your product or your service. Simple. How many people can you tell me, or how many market spaces knows your product, service, or company? And then when it comes to branding, the question that should be asked, which I would say summarizes the whole thing. Okay, they know your company, product, service. How do they relate to it? Right? How do they think about your company, business, brand, your identity? Well, how do they identify you with? Notice these are two different questions. You notice the answers will of course be the same. I want you to picture this like a protractor, those semicircle rulers that you use in school, showing you where the angles are, or a compass. On that device, 1 degree separation is very small. But in the further away you go from that source, the compass, you notice that a degree can grow from 1 millimeter all the way to 1 kilometer. Likewise, when I ask you this question, or these two questions, how many people know you? How do they identify with you? It seems the same. Ultimately, where you land will be different. I can add another layer to that, meaning, do people know you? And how do they identify with you, with your brand, with your product, your service, your company? Adding another layer basically means how would they perceive you? Do they trust you intimately enough, or do they hate you? Right? So I'm bringing in a third layer right now. I'm bringing in PR, public relations, your stakeholders. Who are these people? That is the question I meant to ask. So how many people knows you? How do they identify with you? And who are these people? Are they your stakeholders or not? Branding, basically, you want to position your company, your entity, your identity in a certain manner which your audience, your stakeholders can relate to. When I say Nike, what comes to mind? Do you think of a black colored carbonated soft drink? Do you think of flight tickets or cheap flight tickets? Do you think about sturdy houses? You don't you? You think about sports attire. You think about healthy living. Likewise, if I were to say Milo, what do you think of? You think of that nice evening by the beach with wind blowing, a nice breeze, cooling breeze, wine in your hand? Do you think of surround sound system? You don't. And of course, you bring it to another layer where people identify with it emotionally. Likewise, Apple superfans are willing to line up for days outside a store prior to the launch. Neither you nor I most likely will ever do that. We'll probably wait until the crowd disappears and then we might go into the store. But for these people who identify with the brand. To them, Apple is not just an electronic device supplier. To Nike fans, it is not just a fashion statement. it is a lifestyle. Likewise, those who are buying Amway, Jeunesse, who swear by these brands, see it as a lifestyle enabler rather than just another company. So branding, when you have a strong branding, the relationship of how your audience, how your stakeholders identify with you will be more prominent, will be multi-layered, and will be emotional rather than transactional. Likewise, when you're talking about marketing, how many people know about you? Strong brands have big markets. Yes, Coca-Cola has big markets, Louis Vuitton, Patek Philippe. Heck, luxury brands even market to people who can't afford them because the value proposition is exclusivity. By wearing or driving or donning on the logo of a certain brand, you are in this group of elite, which others can identify. Oh, that guy is an elite, someone who has money. That guy is well-to-do, and therefore I recognize that. Even though I probably can't afford, heck, I can't afford a Patek watch right now. But knowing and identifying that that cross logo, oh, there's a Patek Philippe, helps the brand owners and eventually the consumers, the buyers, enjoy that elevated stature, that association of exclusivity. So branding, I would say, is often strategic. It's not something you can completely outsource or completely alienate from the strategic level, from the senior management level. It is not something that you can get a junior executive to handle unless it is already in an SOP, if you will, in a book, a guideline, or a brand identity dossier, which, okay, Mr. Executive, Miss Executive, this is our guideline. Now I want you to engage advertising agencies, branding agencies, creative agencies, marketing agencies to do something according to this set of rules and requirements, right? So it's not, but the ultimate decision, the beginning, the inception must come from the founder, must come from the board, must come from that elite stakeholders responsible or with the foresight of strategy. Where are you bringing the business in the next long term? Are you bringing it into healthy lifestyle? Are you bringing it into luxury market? Are you bringing it into convenience market? So branding is an exercise that is at a strategic level, not at an executionary level. You can get your executives to compile a comparative analysis report for you to see how your competition competes with one another and position themselves with one another. But the ultimate decision, the ultimate instruction comes from the founders, the board, the strategic side of your business. Marketing somewhat can be outsourced. Marketing somewhat can be outsourced as long as the business objectives are clear. You can pass the oversight of marketing to your manager, your executive, your senior executive, or whoever he or she may be, whoever they may be, and they will run with it. They will recommend to the management, to the senior management, okay, this is the plan. Since in quarter one there's this coming up, quarter two this coming up, quarter three coming up this, quarter four doing this, the parameter is we're doing this to support this revenue within this cost structure and within this cost. Therefore, my recommendation or our recommendation or the department feels that we should do this. These are your options. Please pick one, sir. Ma'am. Datuk, Dating, Tan Sri, whatever it is, please pick one. And then the board or the CEO or the CMO decides, okay, we'll go for this and that, right? So marketing can be outsourced because your business objective, your business problems have been identified, and it can be executed by someone else. Branding, again, involves the soul, the identity, the spirit of the company or the business. So I hope I brought that, I summarized that into the two questions I asked earlier. What is branding? Basically, branding, it can be answered by, if you're asking yourself, how do your market, how do people who know you identify with you? Your marketing is how many people actually knows you, and who are they? The PR side. Okay, thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do share, like, and subscribe. And if you have any questions regarding marketing, advertising, branding, I'll try to answer it. Otherwise, I'll escalate it to friends and experts who I'm connected with to help answer the question. Thank you very much. I hope you have a great day. Bye.